Hello, class 4th. A very good morning to all of you. I hope all my kids are doing fine and healthy at your home or at your place. So, class 4th, as you all know, that in our yesterday's Microsoft Teams session, we have started with the 11th chapter of our EVS, which is A Valley of Flowers. And in our session we have discussed about the valley, where does this valley is located, and about the beautiful colors of flowers. Now moving on for today's session, today we will be discussing page number 87 of our NCERT book. Let's begin with the session. So class, in page number 87 we can see a board that is there, and where it is written, do not pluck flowers. So that means you are not allowed to take flowers from this place. So now question is, why this? Have you ever seen a board like this put up anywhere? So the question comes, class, does any one of us have seen a board like this? Yes, we all have seen a board like this, and it is generally seen in the gardens as well as in the public parks, not to pluck the flowers. So class, do you think that people pluck flowers even when the board is there? So when there is a board written there, do not pluck the flowers. So do you think, class, that even after this the people pluck the flowers? The answer is no. People usually does not pluck the flower if they see this type of board which is written there. Now next question is, why do you think they do this? So now class, why do you think if people might pluck some of the flowers? It might be because they don't follow the rules. Some people may not follow the rules, and because of this they might pluck the flowers. Next question says, should they do this? So what do you think, class? We should follow the rules. Every one of us should follow the rules that are made by the government, and it is our duty to follow these rules. So no, we should not do this. Okay, we should follow the rules and we should obey the rules as well as. Next question is, what would happen if everybody plucked the flowers? So now class, what will happen if everybody in our country start plucking the flowers? What will happen if everyone in our country will pluck the flowers? So class, then there will be no flowers, there will be no garden, and there will be no beautiful flowers as well as the park. Because we know that the parks and the beautiful gardens are because of the beautiful colors of the flowers, and if everyone is going to pluck these flowers, then there will be no flowers, there will be no beautiful gardens as well as the parks. So we should follow the rules and regulations. We should never disobey the rules as well as the regulation. We should never ever pluck these flowers. Now class, moving on, next page number, that is page number 88, we have to see. Let us look closely. Now we are going to discuss. So children who can bring flowers may bring one or two flowers to the class. So class, the children who can bring the flowers can bring, and children, remember that you are not allowed to pluck the flowers. We just got to know that we have to obey the rules and we should not pluck the flowers. So this is the reason we should bring the dead flowers or the flowers that are fallen on the earth or on the land. So we need to take those flowers, but we should not at all pluck those flowers. We should follow the rules. Now what is the color of the flower? So class, the color of the flower is red. Okay, next question, what kind of a scent does it have? So every flower has some kind of a scent, or you can say some kind of a smell. So it has a lovely scent. If we talk about rose, the color of the rose is red, and we all know it has a lovely scent. So we all have smelled the rose, and we know that the smell of the rose is very, very, very lovely. Next question, what does it looks like? A bell, a bowl, a brush, or anything else? So now you have to tell me that how does a rose look like? So class, it looks like a bowl shape. The shape of the rose is a bowl shape. And how many petals are there in the in it. So class, every flower has some petals, and every flower has of petals in it, and usually it is from 40 to 50, or you can say 200. So the flowers have petals, and without petals the flower won't look beautiful also. So every flower have petals from 40 to 100. So the rose has the petal of 40 to 100. Now, are all the petals joined together or separate? So class, if we see the flowers, so we can say that certain flowers have petals that are joined together, and certain flowers have the petals that are separated. Since we are talking about rose, so the petals of the rose are separated, they are not totally joined with each other. The next questions ask us, class, outside the petals, can you see any green leafy structure? How many are there? So class, outside of the flowers there are green leafy structure. Every flower has a green leafy structure outside, and there are at least 4 green leafy structure. Similarly, in the rose also there are 4 green leafy structure. Now next thing we are going to discuss, inside the petals in the middle of the flower, can you see some thin structure? Write its color. So class, every petal, every flower has a thin structure inside, and it is there, like every flower, whether you go for a marigold, whether you go for a lily, so every flower has a thin structure is there, and you can see a thin structure inside the rose also, and the color of this structure is pink, or you can say pinkish red. So every flower has a pink reddish structure in rose its side. Now class, talking about the next page number, that is page number 89. And now when you touch these, do you find any powdery thing in your hands? So class, when you touch the pink structure, then you touch this thin structure, do you able to find any sticky things? Something is sticking in your hands? Yes, when we ever touch this thin structure, we find that it is something sticky. There is something sticky in the thin structure which is there in the middle of the flower. Now next question, blooming buds. Now we are going to discuss about the blooming buds. What are the buds and why we are going to call them as blooming buds? So class, we all have seen buds on the plants. There are 2 images that is shown in the in your book. One is of a flower, and another one that is of green color is bud. So buds are there in the image itself, and so as the flower. So there are any flower bearing buds growing near your school. So you can see in your locality, you can see in your home, you can find any bud that is growing in your locality or at your home, you can see it carefully. And you can also tell the difference between the buds as well as between a flower. See class, if we see in the image itself, which is there in page number 89, we can see that the size of the flower is bigger than the size of the bud. We can see the white color flower is bigger in size. If we talk with the bud, the size of the bud is small and the size of the flower is large. Furthermore class, one thing we can see is that the shape of the bud is pointed. We can see that the shape of the bud is pointed, whereas nothing like this can be seen in the flower. So next thing you have to do is that you have to draw the picture of a bud and its flower in your notebook. So you can draw a picture of a bud. It can be of any flower, it can be of rose as well. So you have to draw the picture of a bud in your notebook, and everyone make sure to do this. Now class, you can tell me that it takes usually 5 to 4 days to become a flower. A bud takes 4 to 5 days to become a proper flower. So whenever you can see a bud, you can draw down a date, you can write down a date that yes, it was on the last week of September I saw, and the date was 5, and now it is 9 September. The flower has grown, the bud has grown. So every bud takes 4 to 5 days to grow. Furthermore class, you can ask your friends also to tell the different flowers that they have seen, and you can write down, you can ask them how much time does it take for the bud to grow into the flower. So you can ask the friends also that how much time does a bird takes to grow it into a proper flower. Generally it takes 4 to 5, maybe with different flowers, maybe there might be difference, but generally with majority of the flowers it is 4 to 5 days. Okay, so class, everyone please make sure to complete till page number 89 and submit the work on time. Thank you.